what to expect here. So it's better not to think about it too much and just go out.
Listen, guys. Helmut Marko, the man who put Max Verstappen in a Formula One seat at 17 years old, just said something that doesn't hold up. He told an Austrian newspaper that big money is what's keeping Max at Red Bull. But 3 weeks ago, Red Bull's own owners offered Max actual money cash on the table to give up his freedom. And he said no, not eventually, not after negotiation, just no. So today we're going through the receipts every time Max Verstappen chose loyalty over money and why Marko, of all people, just got him completely wrong. Let's get into it. But before, if you want more updates and news on Max, then hit that like button and subscribe for more breakdowns. This isn't a one-off. Go back to 2014. Mercedes had just won a championship with Lewis Hamilton and was about to dominate the sport for a decade, and they wanted a 17-year-old Dutch karting prodigy. Red Bull wanted him too. Mercedes simply didn't have a seat open. Max went to Red Bull's junior program instead, at an age when most kids are choosing a university, not a Formula One dynasty. What people forget about that moment is that Max's father, Jos, had been around F1 long enough to know exactly what a dominant Mercedes seat would have meant for his son's career. He understood the landscape better than almost anyone. And even then, the family chose the team that believed in Max first, not the one that would eventually pay most. That instinct, loyalty to the people who showed up early, has quietly defined every major decision Max has made since. Fast forward to 2024. Red Bull is in genuine crisis. The Christian Horner scandal is tearing the team apart internally, and Toto Wolff sees his opening. Mercedes comes in hard. The approach is real, the money is real, and the timing is almost perfect because Max has a clause that gives him real options. And Max, sitting inside a team actively imploding around him, with his own father publicly calling out the leadership on social media, and Adrian Newey already heading for the door, doesn't leave. He stays. Not because he had no options, not because the money wasn't there, because he had the single biggest option in the sport, from the most successful team of the hybrid era, and he turned it down without making a public drama of it. That is not a man motivated primarily by money. That is a man who decided something else mattered more. 2025. Same story, louder. The Horner situation drags on. Marko's own position wobbles. Jos Verstappen is publicly furious with the team's internal politics. Mercedes tries again. This time, Max has an actual working exit clause, not a theoretical option. A real one, with a real window. He could walk. He has the mechanism, the interest from the other side, and every sporting reason to go. Instead, he tells The Guardian in his own words, "I am quite a loyal person, and it is something that means a lot to me." And Mercedes isn't the only door. Aston Martin was reportedly ready to pay him anywhere from $200 million to over $1 billion across various reported offers, more than double his Red Bull salary. Max's own reaction when he heard the Aston number, "It's a lot of money." That was it. Not "sign me up," not "let's talk." Just a lot of money. Said, like a man who has already decided it isn't the point. If you haven't followed the money side of this closely, here's the short version. This year, 2026, talks with Mercedes broke down again, not over Max wanting more money, over contract length. He wanted 3 years. Mercedes only does 1-year deals. Reports say Max was willing to drop from 62 million euros a year to 50 just to make the timeline work, a 20% pay cut to leave a team currently winning races. He still didn't go. Wolff's position has been consistent since last August. If we have the best car, we only need to pay 10% of what Red Bull pays. He was not bluffing. He has the best car. He didn't blink. And Max absorbed that rejection, went back to Red Bull, and kept racing a car that sent him into the barrier twice in 3 weeks. And here's the part that actually breaks Marko's argument entirely. At Silverstone, Max looked at his own car after qualifying and told the team he wanted to start from the pit lane, sacrifice 15 grid places because he didn't trust the setup. Red Bull said no. Hours later, that exact car snapped away from him at Stowe from a rear wing failure, the same fault line he had flagged the night before. He was running third with 5 laps remaining. His words after, "If it was up to me, I would have started from the pit lane." He was right. They overruled him. Then, in June, the actual owners Chalurm Uvija and Mark Mateschitz flew him to Austria and tried to buy him out of his exit clause, reportedly close to £7 million in cash, specifically to erase his option to leave. He said no to that too, overruled on a safety call, offered money to disappear quietly. He turned both down in the same month. Let's put the whole picture together because the numbers make Max's position look almost irrational if you think loyalty isn't real. He's racing a car that's had 3 major shunts in the first 9 races of the season, rear wing failures at both Austria qualifying and Silverstone. He sits 7th in the championship, 76 points, 98 adrift of Antonelli's lead. Here's the part that should stop you. The men who built his career with him are gone. Christian Horner, sacked. Adrian Newey, gone. Jonathan Wheatley, gone. Helmut Marko himself stepped away from his F1 role at the start of this year. He's now working under a team principal, Laurent Mekies, he barely had history with, and Max has publicly called that relationship really good anyway. Meanwhile, Red Bull's own co-owner, Mark Mateschitz, has reportedly told people close to the team he wants to sever ties with Max, the same driver who just refused cash to leave. And on top of all that, Max isn't even financially dependent on any of this. He's been quietly building Verstappen.com Racing, his own team, his own sim program, signing his own drivers this very week. He has an exit ready-made if he wanted one. He didn't use it. So here's the full picture. A driver who turned down Mercedes at 17, again in 2024 and again in 2025, who was offered real money this June specifically to leave, and said no racing a dangerous car for owners who reportedly want him gone, alongside almost none of the people who built his career. That is not a man chasing the biggest paycheck. That is a man staying somewhere that keeps giving him reasons to walk, and choosing not to anyway. Hungary is 9 days out, the exact race where the exit clause becomes formally real. If Max still says nothing there, that silence means something, and I will have that video up the moment the checkered flag drops. Subscribe for that one. The real question nobody has asked yet. If it's not about the money, and it's not about the car, what actually is it?